This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotatonetwork.com.
Watching television, watching television. Watching television, watching television. I need all the image, I need all the sound, I know the info right into my mind.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. This is Trial by Pilot, the show where me and the elves judge a series of television.
Why do you
by
get to be
its-
Santa?
Who else would be Santa?
I mean,
Probably me.
You're clearly Blitzen.
why am I
And then
blitzing?
Casey.
I'm that weird elf that wants to be a dentist.
God damn it, I was trying to think of his name. What is his name?
I'd be the snow miser, right?
Yeah, Snowmiser.
Yeah. Or the abominable Yeti.
This is Trial by Pilot. I'm Bill Lynch.
I just like don't know why I'm. Well, I guess I'm blitzing.
Well, you're a woman.
Yeah.
You can't be Santa,
Right.
traditionally. And I'm Krampus.
Yeah, but like, why am I blitzing?
Of all the deer, you're definitely a Blitzen.
All right. Well, I was gonna say maybe like dancer.
Dancer?
Why not
I
dancer?
don't think I've ever seen you dance.
Yeah. You're certainly not
I think
Prancer.
I've seen me and Billy both dance more than you.
All right.
That's true.
Because we've been to one wedding together, Casey.
I've literally seen Billy dance way more than you.
You did, well, I'm sorry. Have you been at my wedding? I danced the whole night.
I was there,
Yeah.
but I was like 16, so I was drunk.
All right.
Anyway.
We have brought back our very special Christmas movie episode of
Very
Trial by Pilot.
special.
Now,
Very special.
very special.
very, very. This gets its own category.
Typically, we watch television pilots on this podcast. Last year, we decided, you know what? Fuck it. We don't care. Nobody else cares. We're going to watch a bad Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And it was glorious.
It was the best bad movie ever.
Well,
I think it's actually Casey's favorite movie. Is that correct?
It might be actually.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
It might be one of my favorite movies.
It's
of
called
all
Naughty
time.
and Nice. Go watch it immediately with all of your family, regardless of
Fuck you, Citizen Kane.
age and anything else.
Naughty or nice.
Maybe we'll talk about it
So
more.
Haley Duff's finest work.
Oh yeah,
We'll talk about it more at the end of this episode.
and
when-
Tilky Jones. Is,
Tilky.
yeah, I still remember it.
So, this year we went through a list of Christmas movies, like sappy Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And we chose
They were all Mar Vista, basically.
Yeah.
so many
Like
Marvistas.
5 out of 6.
Yeah. We are talking about A Dogwalker's Christmas Tale.
Which, by the way, it's like,
Stupid.
it's just like begging to be a pun.
Yeah.
And it's not. And they don't spell tail T-A-I-L.
Yeah, it's spelled T-A-L-E.
And I just feel like, why did you name the movie this?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're
To have
not
such
going to
a-
use the
just
pun.
A Dog Walker's Christmas.
Right.
Right.
That even sounds less stupid. Like,
Yeah.
even if you don't know the spelling thing, the whole pun thing you're missing out
Right.
on, just A Dog Walker's Christmas. Sounds like, oh, okay, that sounds like it
Right.
could be a cute little
Christmas
movie.
at the dog
A
park.
Christmas Tale.
But tail is begging for the pun. And so I was disappointed right off the bat there.
I would just call it Shitty Actors in a Dirt Lot.
Oh my god!
you beat me to the dirt lot joke.
We can just end it there because it is exactly
all
what
it
this
is.
movie is. It is
Oh, we are
so bad.
painstakingly going through every fucking plot point of this movie.
Oh, man.
I have to say, when the Mar Vista thing came on, I got like a little giddy. I was like, oh,
yeah.
man, Mar
Because we
Vista.
watched so many of the previews had Mar Vista Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, these look bad.
They just churn
Was
out.
Naughty and Nice Mar Vista?
Yeah.
Was it?
It was?
I'm pretty confident it was.
Oh, okay.
I believe it.
So, the movie begins with our protagonist, Luce. And she wakes up in bed
First groan of many.
and yells to herself, 5 days until Christmas.
Yeah.
And she runs into her roommate's room, who's this like short-haired progressive college girl, and convinces her to come shopping with her and her friends.
Because Luce loves shopping.
Yeah, my immediate thought was like, first off, I thought like, can you overact anymore?
Oh, yeah.
And like, not even kids are this excited for Christmas movies. Like, can they have adults just like Christmas? Like, even Naughty and Nice, like, not saying anything positive about the movie, but she liked Christmas an appropriate amount.
Sure.
Like an adult
Yeah.
would. Not like
Yeah.
jingle bells play when I wake up and
Right.
I ride a reindeer to work.
Yeah, she's like acting like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also just acting
But like
badly.
an insane kid. Oh
Right.
yeah, and bad acting.
Then the other protagonist, Dean, wakes up in his room and he has some very dry mouth.
Oh
he's
my
like-
god.
And
This
then
bothered me so much because he was just like then he brushed his teeth. They had a scene of him brushing his teeth.
Yeah.
And then after he's going and like
That didn't bother me. That just felt like a good opposite of like, it's Christmas, and him just be like,
but it was like
It was just so
again
overdone.
like as
yeah, we should stop doing that. I realize
poorly-
people don't want to hear that.
Yeah. It was as poorly done as her jumping up and saying 5 days.
You can dislike it. I wouldn't say as poorly done.
No, he was so bad. He was terrible.
He was fine.
Casey loved him.
No.
I thought he was an okay actor.
Oh, what?
I said okay. I thought he was an okay actor. His lines were bad. The direction was bad. He's an okay
Right.
actor. He's not a
Maybe.
good actor. He's an okay actor. You could put him in some parts. He'd be fine.
I just didn't understand this because I felt like his character was supposed to be like this dorky, goofy, like science guy, but like that's not who he didn't play that well. I didn't think he was a good actor at all, and he's been in a lot of stuff. Like I recognize him from more mainstream things, which like I
really?
didn't,
I've seen him in a ton of stuff.
I didn't recognize her from that. I can't remember his name.
He's
now.
been in a ton of really, really shitty Christmas movies.
Oh
Has
really?
he?
Yeah, he's like the heartthrob in like shitty, cheap movies.
Yeah.
Well, he's also been in
He's
like
got the
actual.
looks for low budget.
Right. He's
Yes.
not quite good looking enough to actually be a star.
Right.
He's like handsome
Which
enough
is exactly
to
how
be
these
a
movies-
lead, but
So, in the next scene, Luce is shopping with her two best friends, but her roommate is not with them. Even though in the very last scene,
she called them besties.
it was all about her coming to go shopping. So 90 seconds into the movie, and there's no consistency already.
No, she said, "Come shopping with me and these friends," and she's like, "Why do you hang out with them?"
Yeah, she's like,
And then she agreed to come shopping with her.
no, I don't think so.
I don't know.
She was saying how the friends are like, oh, they're so vapid and whatever.
I thought at the end she agreed, and then she gave her a big hug.
I mean,
It
who
doesn't-
cares what
it doesn't
happens
fucking
in
There's
matter.
that scene?
there's so much like
Yeah, there's more to complain about.
clearly like 65-year-old men like teenage girls. What? What are they doing?
I think they'd say this. Yeah, who fucking wrote this movie?
Because then they're all outside of a store, like taking selfies or whatever.
Yeah.
And Luce goes inside the store, and then the friends turn to each other, like, with the most confused looks, and they go, "Oh my God, where did she go?"
Yeah. It's seriously.
She went inside the store, you fucking morons.
If you guys had watched the movie I'm going to talk about in a little bit, you would understand what I'm about to say. But it feels like they were from a different time, and then came to this time, and tried to pick up on the lingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that movie.
And so they go into the store, and Luce is schooling the store employee on the rule of thirds and
Yeah.
telling him how to redo the window display because it's not working right.
yeah.
Because
so
because she's an interior design student,
Right.
Yeah.
she knows everything.
So stupid.
Don't forget the rule of thirds.
Also, I learned that from watching HGTV. Like,
Yeah.
so just calm down.
And then the friends are all getting matching necklaces, but instead Luce buys her a watch for her boyfriend.
Which had to have been very expensive because the necklace was like a gold and ruby necklace
Yeah.
with like a ruby the size of like a penny. Like, so that watch had to have been expensive for her.
Well, it's her parents' credit card.
yeah, but
Who are
still.
loaded.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
So she goes to give Derek the watch, and he's like,
This is such a weird
Oh
argument.
my god.
he's like, "Are we dating?"
Yeah,
It's like, "Why did you get me a gift? You shouldn't have got me a gift. I don't want this."
yeah. It was such a like. That's not a miscommunication that would ever happen. Like,
Yeah.
they were like quote unquote together somewhat for 3 months.
Yeah.
You would at some point have even some vague conversation of like, so like, oh hey, I'm just texting my boyfriend, and like he would
Yeah.
hear that, or like, oh hold on, let me just go grab my boyfriend, and
He
like something
acted
would
like-
happen.
He acted like he'd not like that he had never met her before, but that like maybe they
Almost.
just like sat like behind each other in class or
Right,
something.
yeah.
And he's like, wait, what, we're dating? Like he was so mean to her, and she
She's
was like,
yeah, we went to a dance together. We did this
Yeah, it sounded
together.
like-
Very
Yeah.
personal stuff.
It sounded like the three things that she mentioned were the only things that happened. Like, yeah, we met that one night at the party, and then we went to the dance, and now we're having coffee.
right.
And he's like, wait, like that sounds like his response sounds like that,
Right.
Yeah.
and not like they've spent any time together.
Right.
So he says he needs someone with substance. Remember that line, guys. Substance.
Oh my God, they say that word so
I know,
much.
it's so
lot.
fucking annoying. So she goes home all
Like, let me
upset.
grab you a thesaurus, Marvista.
She goes home all upset and asks her friend if she has substance. And the friend refuses to
Yeah.
say it.
Oh my god,
Yeah, what a B.
she's such a bee.
Just
Yeah.
say it. Just say it. You could say it.
What a biatch.
What a bum. Oh,
Damn it.
you know, it just felt like, just say, of course you have substance.
Yeah.
Not like,
Be a
well, he reads
fucking
Nietzsche
friend.
and you go shopping.
Yeah,
Like,
and like right from that minute, I'm like, oh, she fucking likes this girl's boyfriend.
I
Yeah.
just thought she was a total asshole.
I mean, she's a
Both.
total asshole too.
Like, typical, like, college, like, I'm in philosophy 101, so.
also, like, who cares? Like Nietzsche, like that's what you're gonna say. Like someone's like full of substance. Like you can read that on like any greeting card, in,
Yeah.
like any store. That doesn't. It's not special.
So as all this is going on, we're seeing intercut scenes of Dean walking this old lady's dog for free.
Yeah.
And he will not stop tongue fucking this dog's face.
Oh my god! I think I wrote
It's
that
so
down.
disgusting.
I said, stop talking to the dogs.
Talking, kissing them, like
Okay.
Jesus
'Cause
Christ.
You said tongue fucking, and I was like, is he putting his tongue in the dog's mouths?
basically.
Because you've seen people kiss dogs in a really gross way. I thought it was gross in a normal way here.
It was.
You know,
I
it
just-
wasn't.
I
It
wasn't,
wasn't
happy with it, but it
It
wasn't like
wasn't like that. The
French.
kissing was like too much. It's not like he was like licking them or anything, but it was like uncomfortable talking
so
to it.
mushy.
It was just like, like ew.
Well,
sleepy. Oh, you're so good with your.
Well, there is the scene later on where he is tonguing the dog's butthole.
Well, he's a vet, and he knows. Isn't there actually a thing where you have to do that to like help a dog with something?
What?
You have to like massage its butthole, I think, when
Well,
it's
maybe
a
it's
puppy
just
to
that.
make it poop. And he was massaging it with his tongue.
You go to him the first time when he has all the dogs in the thing, and he's just got two fingers up there,
Oh, is that puppy having trouble pooping?
and then he pulls out his finger. He's like, "Oh fuck,
I
the
know
rubber
what you
glove!
do."
I knew I forgot something."
Luce's parents are in Botswana for a fundraiser.
Which she forgets about, and
Yeah.
is then pissed that they're at a that they're like in Botswana, like helping the less fortunate. She's like, "They're missing Christmas," and she's like, "Well, I guess okay."
Yeah.
Also, but that is kind of weird. This whole situation is
I
weird.
mean,
Like
it's a very specific thing to get them out of the area.
Right.
yeah.
But I actually liked a few of the weird specifics because they felt so specific that it wasn't like just a boring generic thing.
Yeah.
Like when she goes to like text her parents
Mm-hmm.
and she just texts like the thing says like texting like mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like mom and dad have one cell phone.
Oh, yes.
Like
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
it's just like who
Then we meet her brother who is playing the guitar.
Oh my god.
in air quotes.
So clearly not playing the
So
guitar.
I'm wondering, do they have him not even touching the guitar so they can put in that sound, but then not have to worry about taking out the actual sound of him strumming the guitar?
No, it's just plugged in and he's just playing it, and then they just gotta pump music through, right?
Yeah, but like he doesn't actually touch the guitar strings.
I don't think he's touching
Does
it
he
at
not?
all.
No.
I thought he had his hand and he was just strumming.
No, the
No,
one
he
hand, the
wasn't
one hand's
even
touching it, and then
strumming.
like he's pretending to strum. But like as there's like
He's like
4 or
this.
5 notes or chords, he's like just clearly like moving his hand one time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's so
well, yeah,
fake.
no, his left hand I knew was just staying in place and then like would move kind of like after like 30 seconds. But yeah, clearly not playing the guitar.
It
like
was
there
so bad.
Like there was no attempt to just say like, "Hey kid, just like move your fingers around." Like it doesn't have to be perfect, but at least it'll look like you're not pretending.
Right.
But apparently he's like in a band and like they have a gig Christmas Eve.
have
Like
a
he's
Christmas
like kind
Eve
of a
gig.
big deal.
Yeah.
But the neighbor comes by the next morning because her brother was supposed to walk their dog Hank. But
Yeah.
he's like at this gig or practicing for a gig.
She came over and talked to Luce, and then like it seemed like she was about to leave, and I was like, "What the fuck did you go over there for?" Because I thought it was going to be a dog walking thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then she goes to leave almost. But yeah,
But she needs a dog walker, and so she's like, "Oh, you can do it, Luce." Mm-hmm. And so at first she's like, "No, I can't. But then she mentions the ruby necklace.
Yeah.
And so this woman is like, "Oh, you know,
Dina Meyer
yeah,
from Starship Troopers. Yeah.
She says every girl
One of the
deserves
first
a
boobs
ruby.
I've ever seen.
Oh, does she show her boobs in that movie?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Every girl deserves a ruby on Christmas. Is what
Yeah.
she says.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
Her
Is
lines
that
are
a saying?
No.
Have you ever heard that before?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Also, when someone she says name your price, she goes, "Well, there was this ruby necklace." It's like,
Fuck
Jesus,
you,
bitch.
how much
Like,
dog walking
even,
are you gonna do?
Even rich, you're not like, a ruby necklace? Sure. For a week of dog walking?
Yeah.
yeah.
7 hours of work? Sure. A ruby.
Well, she actually spends 24 hours a day with this dog.
That's
so.
true. What, you want the heart of the ocean? Sure.
So Luce brings this dog to the dog park, and right away Hank runs across the field and pulls her right into Dean, who she crashes into, and they fall on top of each other.
These falling scenes are scenes because
Yeah.
there's more than one. They're so bad.
And so it cuts to them on the ground, and Hank is like standing there calmly, like he was clearly not trying to like run past.
Very trained. You
Yeah.
can constantly see the dogs because there's so many shots of the dogs.
Yeah.
Like looking up at like not the camera, but like the guy behind the camera, like with the treat, like okay, do this, do this, do this. And so you can see the dogs like moving their heads, like this. Okay.
I didn't notice
Yeah, it
that.
was so clear. Oh, and Luce looks in the camera too. I noticed that.
They're moving stuff around for her too.
Yeah, she's like, huh?
over here,
Huh?
Luce, over
Huh?
here. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Show some emotion.
She's like, no.
Then Dean and his group of dog walker friends find a developer sign on the dog park fencing or whatever.
Wait, so they're there every day.
every single day.
This is the first time they noticed it?
Do we see someone walk up and put it up?
Yes, I think so.
Do we?
I think like someone just put it up.
Okay,
And
okay.
I found like
retract
this
my complaint.
conversation where we're like meeting these people and they're all talking to each other and all this exposition was so uncomfortable. Like I wrote down that I'm like uncomfortable listening to everybody talk because it was all so bad. There wasn't like
Yeah.
one good actor in there. They were all really bad. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
also,
no, none of them.
Also, the writing is terrible.
Oh, it's
And we do
atrocious.
have to say that because it's so bad, but like the acting's not good.
Yeah, I think there was like 3 passable actors in this.
And 2 of them were from Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Well, who's the other
Well,
one from Starship Troopers?
Patrick Muldoon.
Patrick Muldoon.
Oh, he's
that's his
from it
name.
also?
Yeah.
The, the
Mr. Paxton. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he's an okay actor. He
Oh,
he was
yeah.
really bad in this.
Oh, he was
He was-
terrible.
yeah, he was bad.
But yeah, Dina Meyer. I thought the eyebrow guy was okay. And then the third one was the woman who worked in the jewelry store, and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, she was good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought she was good.
pretty good.
I think she may have been like the best actress.
So they find a sign and they're like, "Oh no, they're gonna tear this place down." And I'm like, "Tear this place down? It's literally a
Yeah.
dirt patch. It's like mud
Yeah.
and dead grass.
Yeah,
in
it
a
wasn't even
fence."
nice.
Yeah.
I think the other
With like a
thing is,
bench.
I could understand, like, you know, this is a place you take your pet to every day, and like this is a place where they get to run around, and it is fenced in, and
Yeah.
I get that, but it's like every town has a dog park.
Pretty
just,
much.
Just go to the other one.
They even say at some point, it's in my notes somewhere, which I can't find, but they even say at some point, like, yeah, there's lots of dog parks, but like this is our dog park.
Yeah.
Which
know-
means they just don't want to give up their fucking dog park to
Right.
like bring in like, because even the girl says, like, she's like, it's going to bring in jobs and it's going to like be good for the community. And then plus
Yeah.
you get facials, but like, yeah, it's going to be good for the community. And then it's not just a shitty patch of dirt.
right.
Like,
Not that I'm like pro developer or anything, but it's
No,
not like they're
but-
clear cutting a forest. It's
no.
already just
It's literally-
land sitting there.
It's literally a shitty patch of like dirt and grass.
The Paxtons, the developers, turn out to be Luce's neighbors who own Hank. Twist. Then at some point we see Dean getting up in his bed and there's like a little silver microscope on his
Oh, yeah, I
nightstand.
saw that and I'm like,
Fuck out of
oh,
here.
he likes science stuff.
Guys, don't forget this guy is in veterinary school. Don't forget. So the next day at the park, Luce is saying, there are other dog parks. He's like, no, not like this one. And they go through like all of these incredibly compelling backstories
And really personal.
for the trio.
Personal, and one of them was like totally fat shaming people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first woman,
This fat bitch.
yeah, the
Yeah.
first woman's like recently divorced, and he's like, this is the only place she'll ever be able to find an honest guy who likes dogs. Like that was the fucking
Yeah.
reasoning.
Yeah, and she's like, why dogs? And he said something like, well, because people with dog have substance.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Number two, there are two things. Number one, substance again. Number two, what makes someone having a dog have substance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know a
literally,
bunch of
it's-
idiots that have dogs.
Yes, there was nothing like maybe people with dogs are compassionate. Like that's
Yeah.
at least something I could
Right.
get behind. People with dogs have substance.
Yeah.
Like shut the fuck up. People who wear hats sideways have substance. I could make any bold claim.
Then the second woman has lost like 180 pounds.
Yeah.
Because she started bringing her dog here and she walks in circles all day. Mm-hmm. And she's at risk to blow up any second
Yeah,
if she
she-
stops bringing the dog
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Luce is like,
He's
well,
like, see her? She used to be 280 pounds. And I'm just like, you know what? I just think, just
Also,
fuck
no,
you.
no, this woman didn't. She's
No, she
Yeah, yeah.
didn't.
she's like
But,
incredibly ripped and thin, and
yeah.
well, let's just be careful because
I'm just
that's
saying
not like
it's
that
very
can
clear
happen.
that
Once
woman
people
with
get
that
fat.
frame
Yeah.
and
No, but yeah, then Luce is like, yeah, well, okay, well, good. So she lost all the weight and now she looks great. And he's like, yeah, but you should see her eat. She could blow up at any moment.
she needs this place so she can
Yeah.
walk. Like, it was just,
And
that was obnoxious.
most of them are walking their dogs.
yeah.
Just walk your dog on a sidewalk. Or like, there's got to be some park that even though it's not a
Right.
dog park, you could walk your dog through. This is a fucking wealthy ass neighborhood. There's a park somewhere.
So the
And it's cool
third,
that- okay.
the third member of the trio doesn't even have a dog.
Yeah.
He used to have a dog 40 years ago, and he met his wife at this dog park,
Mm-hmm.
who is now dead. And so he comes back to the dog park literally every single day
Yeah.
without a dog to sit there.
Yeah. And so, what's Eyebrow's name? Do we know?
No.
Okay, Eyebrows is like
Who's Eyebrows? The old guy?
No,
the main guy.
The main guy.
Oh, Dean.
Oh, Dean. Okay. So Dean is like, oh, he was a vet and he met his wife here. And, what'd you say to her when you met her? And he's like, hey, you look beautiful. And she's like, oh, I didn't put my makeup. And he's like, no, you're a dog, bitch. And she's like, oh, that's such a sweet story. So where's your wife? And Dean's like shaking his head no. Like, don't surprise her with a dead wife, you
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
Like, surprise. He's got a dead wife.
Then back at the Paxtons, the husband and wife and an architect are looking at blueprints for this spa that they want to build. And Luce like butts in between them because they're complaining about like the sun hitting the reception area. And so she butts in and she's like, well, why don't you put a glass atrium here and put some bamboo in it? Because that'll absorb the heat but reflect the sunlight away from the reception area. Also, put in a saltwater aquarium because it'll relax your guests. It's
Like
two
now she just knows everything about.
Yeah.
it's two developers and an architect standing there, and they're like fucking blown away by this genius
Yeah.
of Luce coming in to tell them how to do their
But
own
then
jobs.
they forget. Like, fucking, what's his name? Bill Purdue? What is it?
What?
Perd Hapley? Perd Hapley? what was the other guy from Starship Troopers?
Patrick Muldoon?
Patrick Muldoon. I keep forgetting his name. Yeah, he like sees her later and is like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like, so that scene had no point other than to show us she has substance.
Yeah. Substance.
Substance.
So the dog crew comes up with a plan, and they're going to throw a holiday party at the park. I don't know why. To reinvigorate the neighborhood
Yeah.
around the park?
Yeah.
It was to like to save the dog park.
But
What's that gonna do?
it's hard to ever tell in these movies because they can only afford 2 extras.
Yeah.
So everything they try to do to like have an impact, like with
Yeah.
the number of people, it looks so ridiculous.
It just looks
There's like
like
4 people standing there.
they like quickly had like some PA like run out like, oh, you three, you want to be in a movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Quick, sign this and get in there. Like they forgot every time.
So they put up some Christmas lights, and then Dean and Luce the next morning run into Derek and Luce's roommate at a coffee shop. Obviously, they were on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Dean starts talking about
Oh, boy.
Luce like walking dogs, and Derek's like, "Whoa, you got a job?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he had
Oh.
zero interest in her 2 days ago, and he's like,
I
oh,
know she walks one dog.
maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong about her. Maybe she does have some substance.
And like, so right before that, they walk their dog to this coffee place, which is her regular coffee place.
right.
And they go and they notice a sign that says "No pets allowed" on the door. And they're like, "Oh, no pets allowed." So I'll go in and get the. He goes in and gets the coffee, and she stands out there. First off, it's your coffee place. You should know you can't bring a fucking dog into a coffee place. That's pretty obvious. And then when her friend comes out, she's like, "Oh, I didn't expect to see you here." Like, that's her coffee shop. Why would you like sneak around with her ex?
Oh, yeah.
At her coffee shop.
Right.
Because no one thought or cared about that.
Yeah, no one thought or cared about anything. And they could have even like her friend and her ex could have played that off so well, because she's like, "Oh, I just ran into him." So be like, "All right, see, maybe I'll see you around,"
Right.
instead of standing there awkwardly for 15 minutes. Just like pretend like you actually ran into them. Oh God.
So, despite doing a terrible Nunya business joke earlier in the movie, Dean finally
He doesn't
reveals.
even play it off. He doesn't even do it right.
It's so
He's
stupid.
like, "Nunya," and she's like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "None of your business." Like, that's not how it goes.
So Dean reveals to Luce that he's been spending so much time at the park because he has dyslexia, and being there actually walking dogs calms him down so he can study for vet school.
Yes. I will say the way this was shown was stupid, but I like that this was his reason. Like,
Sure.
sometimes I get stressed, so I come to the dog park. Like, they kind of made it a little bit extra dramatic, but it wasn't like, because I guess as soon as he started talking, I'm like, both of his parents died. They came here when they were kids. Like, that's what it's gonna be. But it wasn't that. It was just like,
It's
sometimes
just-
I get frustrated, and walking my dog calms me down, and it
Yeah.
helps.
It's just funny when anyone says anything like heartfelt or like trying to be heartfelt in
Yeah.
this movie, because the context is they're like, I need to go to this like serene dog park, but it's like a fucking patch of dirt.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
Dog poop on it.
I met my
Yeah.
wife here and we carved our initials into this fence post that surrounds a patch of fucking dirt.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth is gone.
Ooh.
My son will be getting coal in his stocking for Christmas.
That turns to
And I'm not talking about coal from Naughty and Nice. So they, Luce and Dean go back to her house and they're eating. And she goes, "Wow, that grilled cheese was really good."
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, "Don't thank me, it's my mom's recipe."
Such clever dialogue.
This could have been handled in a way where that line is fucking funny because it's so stupid, but
Yeah.
they just deliver it like 100% serious.
Her character is so uncharismatic. It's unbelievable, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he had, like, his character was, like, pretty charming. Like, he was, like, making jokes, and not the best character, but, like, at least he was, like,
Well-
he was goofing around. He, like, said charming things, and she would just, like, look at him, like, blankly with, like, a slight scowl and be like, "Was that supposed to be funny?"
Well, yeah. She was terrible, but Elizabeth and I both felt he was way over the top with his like jokes and charm. Like they were so fucking stupid.
Very cheesy, like,
Yeah.
constant bull.
So they go on a moonlit stroll, and again the dogs tangle up them in their leashes, and they fall on top of each other. This time they do kiss.
It's like, just fucking kiss already. Jesus Christ. There's so many points where they're like, it's like, this is a good time.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, he was getting his rocks off with the dog, so.
Oh, right, I forgot. Sweet Pea.
Was that the dog's name, Sweet
Yeah,
Pea?
Sweet Pea.
God damn it.
Of course it was.
So after they kiss, Lou says, "That was a bad idea," but then they get cutesy again.
Yeah, why is that a bad idea? Why is she against this?
Yeah.
Like, from the second they meet, or like maybe like 5 seconds after they meet, it's clear like they're both single, like semi-attractive people, like
In their 20s.
in their
like,
20s. There's no reason they shouldn't be like at least flirting and like entertaining the idea, like, oh, maybe I'll date this person.
Yeah. So she goes to leave, and Dean calls out, "Only one? Only one?" Which is also just overacted and fucking.
Yeah.
And he has this like face like, "Oh man." The next day, Luce reveals she can't make the dog park party because she's going to a Christmas party at the Paxtons.
Yeah, didn't she just say she was gonna go with him? I thought he said like, "I'll pick you up at 8," and she's like, "Okay," and then she's like, "Oh, I can't go."
Yeah, 'cause she already knew about this party.
Yeah.
It's so hard because the entire timeline of this movie is like 3 days or 4 days.
Yes.
4 days, I guess.
Yeah.
from the very beginning to the end, and like everyone acts like they have known each other forever, and like everything is like this long-standing thing.
Yeah, he's seriously so pissed that she doesn't go to this dog park festival.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've known each other for like 3 or 4 days, and you've been kind of romantically flirting for like 2 days.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
relax.
Because
It's her fucking job. It's her boss. Like,
Yeah, he goes into this big philosophical thing about like how you have to make tough choices and how you she
Yeah.
needs to be there for them. She needs to be there for the park. I'm like, you met her fucking 2 days ago.
yeah, it is so insane for him to expect so much of her, like so quickly.
So she does go to the Christmas party with her
And
two
it's like,
friends.
it's for a dog park. It's not even like, I know we just met, but like, I told you this horrible thing was happening. Like, they're bulldozing the children's hospital, and you don't care. You're going to a party. Like, no, they're gonna bulldoze a dog park. Going to a dog festival is not gonna fucking help.
Do you know how important this dog park is to these people?
To what, these 4 people?
Yeah. Because those are the only people that are ever at the dog park.
Except for that pregnant lady and her 2 kids. For like 1 second.
So she goes to the party, and Mr. Paxton finds out about the dog park party.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Because she invites him, and then she's like, "Oh, I hope he doesn't find out." So why'd you invite him?
oh no, never mind. Derek says later that it was her that like organized the dog park party.
Yeah.
So
Which, ugh.
yeah, Mr.
comment
Mr.
about
Paxton is going there to like shut it down, and Luce tries to distract by yelling out, "'Tis the season to be jolly."
I felt so embarrassed.
It was so embarrassing and awkward. Like even for her as a person, like being directed to do that in this party, quote unquote, of like 8 people.
Her 2 friends, her bosses, and like 2 strangers.
2 extras, yeah. So Derek blows her cover in front of the Paxtons, like I said.
Yeah, which, real quick, so her roommate and her ex-boyfriend show up to this dog park party.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You gotta go." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, blah." They have this not romantic, this like mushy bullshit where Luce is like, "No, I want you to be happy. And if you and Derek like each other, go for it."
Right.
Blah, blah. But she's like, "But you gotta go because my boss is here." And she says, like, "I don't want you to see me get yelled at," but she should have been like, "I don't want you to, like, I don't want this to get spoiled because you can't know that I organized this."
Right.
But so, like, 30 seconds later, she's talking to her boss, and her roommate and her ex-boyfriend come over, and they're like, "Great party." Like, what did your friend just fucking say? She said to leave because she don't want something to happen with her boss.
Oh my
Don't go over
gosh.
to her boss.
But it all works out because Luce then convinces Miss Paxton. She's like, well, if you kept the dog park here, you could put a coffee stand over here with high-end coffee, and then you could put a cafe over there on the corner. Those are your 2 ideas.
God.
A coffee stand and a cafe.
Wait, coffee and a cafe?
Yeah, both.
Oh, boy.
And then she's like, ooh, and you could get a historic designation because the park's been here so long. And then Mrs. Paxton finishes her thought, which would mean no property taxes.
Yeah.
Like, this little shit interior design student who like just wants to shop knows all this stuff.
Shit, yeah.
Mrs. Paxton loves the idea, and she reveals she's the CEO of Paxton Development,
This was
not the husband.
so fucking embarrassing because she reveals it in like the sassiest, most like, "Oh, you didn't think I was the boss?"
Yeah.
And her husband's like looking like so sheepish, but in such a ridiculous way.
Yeah.
Not like, "Oh yeah, she's the boss."
And a complete 180 of how he had been acting the entire movie.
He was like this huge asshole who was like, "Kick everyone out, bulldoze this place now, fuck them all." And then he's like, "Yeah, she's the boss." It should have been like, if they wanted it to be like this like female empowerment reveal, it should have been like not so like him turning around. It should have been like,
Right.
"Yeah, she's the boss, so whatever she says goes."
Right.
Like not like, "Yeah, she's the boss. Yes, honey. I'm sorry." When he was just like gonna chain up for the fucking thing and knock it down.
Right.
That scene was just so annoying.
So Dean thanks Luce
What's a woman boss?
Dean thanks Luce for saving the dog park, and Luce is presented a debit card from Miss Paxton to buy the ruby necklace. So she's like on her phone, and she's like, "Okay, it's bought." But she didn't buy the necklace. She bought Dean a ticket home for Christmas. Because he couldn't afford to go home to see his mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
And then he
Whatever.
says, "It's a Christmas miracle," which he had said like 20 times throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure they said something about substance.
I'm sure.
And then
It's
we
like,
see
I'm gonna fill you with my substance.
And then we see the dog group and 2 extras dancing as Luce and Dean rub noses.
Yeah, gross. This is all gross.
The end.
This ending was so fucking anticlimactic.
Yeah.
It was like 2 minutes, and then it was like, oh no, the boss just found out. That's okay, it's over. Don't worry about it.
And there wasn't even anyone driving away and leaving their cucked boyfriend behind.
I know, this was such a boring ending like, compared to what I'm used to.
So, this was clearly very fucking bad.
Yes.
Naughty and Nice was very fucking bad.
Uh-huh.
So I was trying to figure out what made Naughty and Nice so good and entertaining. I think it's just that this movie was so cheesy, but it was cheesy in like a predictable,
very
boring way. Like
very like strategically predictable way.
Literally like every like laziest cheese you can come up with, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Whereas Naughty and Nice was cheesy, really cheesy, but like in a fucking insane way.
Like everything they did was like a turn. You're like, well, what?
Like,
what's happening?
I mean, what was like the dumbest thing that happened in this movie? Like the dogs pulling them together so they knock into each other.
Yeah.
It's so
Something
it's so
as
fucking predictable. They
stupid
did
as
it twice.
Yeah.
We've seen that trope a million times.
2 people falling like literally for each other, like
Right.
into each other.
That was like the wackiest thing that happened.
Yeah, like
I think.
whoa, the dogs.
In Naughty and Nice,
Or when he fingered that dog's butthole.
I guess I can't cut any of that out now. since
You started it.
we're calling back to it. In Naughty and Nice, they have a giant like snowball fight, and
With packing
they
peanuts?
make angels and packing peanuts in a
Yeah.
room that's 8x8, and she like can't find him, and he like jumps out of the packing peanuts. It was fucking
as
ridiculous.
her boyfriend walks by.
As her
and they're
boyfriend
supposed
listens.
to be on the radio right now.
Oh my god!
Like, it was just pure insanity. See, this is like, okay, how does a normal like romantic comedy work? Let's just plug in Christmas and dog shit.
Yeah, and let's film it in 6 hours.
Yeah, and let's film it in 6 hours for $45.
Yeah.
Naughty and Nice was like, what's 100 romantic comedy tropes, and let's just stick them anywhere we can.
Yeah.
In any way we can. Oh, she misses snow. How the fuck do we do that? What looks like snow? Packing peanuts? Do we have a room for that? We have this little office. Fuck it, throw it in there. Like, that's the difference.
There's a scene at the end of Naughty and Nice where Cole is like driving to like win the day and like get the girl,
Yeah.
and someone's in the road in front of his car,
Oh, yeah.
and he screams, "Kill yourself!"
Yeah. You're not Cole, the other
like
guy.
the protagonist, the good guy,
Yeah.
of the movie, yells, "Kill yourself!"
I forgot. I still haven't gone back to listen to that. I
Oh
missed
my
that
God,
the first
it's-
time around.
It's so incredible.
Yeah, this was just like, this was made by like a student over like a team of incompetent students. Where like, this was made by like a student who's like, okay, here's how you make a romantic comedy, A, B, C. I'm not very good at this, but I
Right.
know what A is, I know what B is, I know what C is.
Right.
Naughty and Nice was like 10 students who were like, what's a romantic comedy? A, B, C. And then they all had ABCs. And so it was just different A's and just little bits of each A and it was just like this crazy amalgamation of
Yeah.
100 writers' ideas because they're like, romantic comedy, Christmas, DJs, LA radio.
He makes like the sand snowman on the beach.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
That was, yeah, so insane. I wrote it down just at the end, just like the direction was notably terrible. Obviously,
Oh,
the
God,
writing
yeah.
was terrible. The editing was so bad. When they were doing like a shot reverse shot where like 2 people are having a conversation and you like film one and then film the other.
Right.
It'd be like, oh, hi, Luce. And then it would wait a second and then it would cut to her friend and the friend wouldn't say anything. And it'd be like, oh, hi, friend. Like it seriously did that like every time. Like they didn't know how to cut out that extra like half a second, which would have made it flow like an actual conversation. It
my
was like a
God.
news reporter.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we're on the scene with Bob from Channel 10 Weather.
And there's
It's
like a tape delay.
Here we go, Bob. Hey, Karen. Like, that's what it was like. But for like 30 seconds, it happened like 10 times.
We're here on the scene where a man is fucking a dog.
Now do you call Pamela? It's absolute pandemonium here. He's fucking this dog raw.
Raw dog.
Raw dog. That's where it comes from.
Oh gosh. Yeah, this was very bad. Not in a good way.
No.
Not in a fun way.
Not recommended at all by me.
It was just so boring.
Yeah.
And I looked and it was like an hour and 26 minutes. So an hour and a half for like a shitty movie. I was like, that's like too long.
Yeah.
Naughty and Nice was 128.
Oh, really?
So it was almost exactly the same length.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just boring. That was the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Nothing was like crazy enough or like cheesy enough. It was like just the fucking least that they could possibly do to get by and make this movie.
It was like white bread with like a little rat turd on it.
Yeah, like a little bit of dog cum.
Like super generic, but then there was a little bit of extra shit that wasn't good shit.
Right.
It wasn't like eating white bread with like cocaine on it.
Yeah.
Which was Naughty and Nice.
Naughty and Nice was like a fucking shit sundae with cocaine.
But I'm saying shit's bad. Like actual shit.
Oh, yeah.
So Naughty and Nice was just like this pure insanity, but like boring, predictable. Not boring, predictable, but like this like dumb romantic crap.
Right.
Didn't make sense, but it was insane.
Yeah.
This was like, I'm so bored, and then Luce is fucking annoying, and the characters are stupid.
Yeah.
I really hated her so much. I'm like, no one's this excited about Christmas.
Yeah, it was very dumb. All right.
I do have a few reviews I wanted to read.
Yes, please.
Because I wanted to look this up. I guess we'll start from the top.
These are reviews of this movie from other people?
Yes. So 10 out of 10. If you love action-packed films or special effects, this film is not the one for you.
I was going to say, if they say that this is an action-packed film.
No. All right.
It takes place in a dirt lot.
Sometimes you want a romance that isn't dopey and instant. 8 out of 10. Not true.
What?
This one is my favorite by far. This is out of 5. This is Amazon, so out of 5 stars. 4 stars. Product was as advertised. He just wrote, product was as advertised, period.
4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. And then there's just a whole bunch of people who are like, oh, perfect, nicely packed, thank you, we'll buy again, quick delivery. Like, not reviewing the movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this one's talking about how the packaging was bad.
Dude, I almost spent $1 on this. Because I searched for it, and one of the things that came up was like, oh, you can pay $1 on YouTube and like get like the nice version of it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's worth like $1 to like not have to like worry about finding it and like watching advertisements or whatever, like seeing some grainy shit.
This was not worth $1.
It was not worth $1. Luckily, I did not need to do that because there was some other thing that had it for free, and it was like good quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have been pissed if I paid 99 cents and then watched this movie.
Even that is, like, Naughty and Nice, I would have been fine with. Like,
I paid $20 for it.
Yeah, I'd buy it on Blu-ray.
I was gonna say they have it maybe they do have it on Blu-ray.
This one is 5 stars. Great service, but not so great movie.
Who the fuck was saying if you're looking for like a not instantaneous love story? They know each other for 4 days.
That's all that happens.
The entire movie is 4 days.
It's only instantaneous.
Oh my gosh.
And this one is out of 5 stars on Letterboxd, right? They do out of 5. So 2 things. 1, legit cannot sympathize with the character who actively dislikes dogs. 2, if you love Christmas so much, why are you waiting until 5 days before you shop and decorate? Half a star. And that got 6 likes.
Good points.
Yeah, so those are their points. Yeah, I believe that's all I got. My favorite was still just product was as advertised, 4 stars. From Bob O.
Bob O. All right. I don't think there's much else to say about this very disappointing film.
No, we were going to watch this or A Night Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Right?
KNIGHT.
Which I also watched.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was disappointing because it was like good quality. You know, it was like the Freeform channel, so it was like good quality, good directing, good acting, good writing. The only crazy thing was like the premise, which is a knight comes back from like, you know, the 17th century to fall in love with Vanessa Hudgens. And other than that, like silly premise, I'm like, oh, this is like, you know, like I could see Liz liking this movie. Like, it's fine. It's just a romantic, dopey comedy that's fun. So that was disappointing.
Yeah, I had hoped for that one just because the premise is so ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
at least I thought, like, maybe it would be insane, like Naughty and Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the quality of it looked good. And, like,
Yeah.
I saw one of the Netflix Instagram accounts, like, promoting it. I was like, all right, how bad could it really be?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It just had the goofy, dumb premise. But, yeah, so this was better to talk about at least.
Yeah. I'm just disappointed because Naughty and Nice was so fun and we were so excited to do another Christmas special.
Yeah.
If any of the listeners have suggestions on, like, a really bad Christmas movie that's hilarious to watch, like, so bad it's funny, let us know, because this was not it.
No. Yeah, like I said, I watched the other movie we were going to watch, possibly.
Yeah.
So I will just watch it right away.
Yeah.
I need some bad Christmas movies in my life.
All right, everybody. Have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yes.
Whatever you celebrate. And we will be back next week with a New Year's episode.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you have suggestions on shows for us to watch, you can email us at trialbypilot@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at trialbypilot. And go on to Apple Podcast, Stitcher, wherever you found this show. Subscribe to it, rate us, and leave a review.
And thank you to the Beats for providing our theme music.
Nice. We don't need Elizabeth anymore.
She's out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Watching